Hi, welcome to yoga. Namaste. My name is Kirsten. We've got a really gentle practice for you today. So this is yoga for self-care. So if you just need a little extra, tenderness, quietness, I guess, in practice, this is a really good one for maybe you're recovering from not feeling well or just need a little extra relaxation and self-care. So please join me on the mat. Grab a blanket to sit on if you'd like. We will also maybe hang on to the blanket for putting under our knees later on in the practice, so it's not a bad idea to grab a blanket. And when you're ready, just come to sit with legs crossed. You can allow the eyes to close or soften the gaze, just gazing down past the nose. Good, and start to tune into the breath. So notice the inhale coming in through the nose and the exhale out through the nose. Relaxing the jaw, dropping the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, creating some space and openness in the sinus cavities, allowing the air to flow freely. Good, now bring a count to your breath. So maybe inhale for 4 if that's comfortable. And exhale for 4. And inhale for 4. And exhale for 4. Go ahead and come back to a natural breathing rhythm. Now bring attention to the spine. So notice the entire spine, starting at the crown of the head and working down toward the neck where the head meets the spine, cervical vertebrae. Moving down the spine to the portion behind the ribs, the thoracic vertebrae. And working your way down one vertebra at a time, really bringing attention to each one. Noticing that slight curvature in at the neck and out at the thoracic area, and continuing down to the lumbar, the lower back. Noticing a slight curvature in. The back has the 3 natural curves, just allowing those curves to be there without any of them being exaggerated. And bring attention finally to the base of the tailbone and the sits bones where your seat meets the ground. And now imagine that you're drawing energy up through the earth, and with the breath, imagine inhaling up the spine, starting at the low back, moving all the way up to the crown of the head, and exhale back down, bringing relaxation to the entire spine on the exhale. Inhale up the spine, bringing fresh air and nourishment to the spine. And exhale back down, relaxing the entire body. Inhale up the spine. And exhale down. And one more inhale up. And exhale down. And come back to a natural breathing rhythm. Now dropping the left ear toward the left shoulder. Staying with the breath, imagine that the breath helps to open up any tight areas on the right side of the neck and shoulder. Now taking the left hand to the left cheek, gently press the head back up to center. And drop the right ear to right shoulder. Again, using the breath to help relax that left side. Go ahead and bring the right hand to the right cheek and gently press the head back up to center. And now allow the eyes to start to flutter open. And we're going to take the right leg, so sort of lift the leg up off the ground and cradle it in your arms. So lifting that bent leg up, and we'll start to rock it back and forth, just gently opening up the hips. Go ahead and place that leg back down. Now walk the hands forward along the floor, bowing the nose toward the toes. And walk the hands back, come back up to a seat, and take the left leg, cradle the left leg in the arms, and rock it back and forth. Good, and place it back down. Maybe place the left foot in front of the right, switching the direction of the cross, and walk your hands forward, nose toward the toes. And come back up to a seat. Place the right hand on the mat, lift the left arm up and over, side stretch. Good, come back up and switch sides. Come back up to a seat. Okay, now we'll make our way to lie back on the mat. So maybe move the blanket out of the way for now, just keep it close by. And gently lie back, keeping the knees bent. Good, and now notice the spine as it rests on the floor. So once again, tuning into the shape of the spine, those three curves. So notice your head resting on the ground, and then a slight curvature away from the ground, so there's a space behind the neck. Maybe even putting one hand behind the neck, noticing that space there, that natural curve. Good, and then following down the spine, the thoracic vertebrae curving toward the ground and resting on the ground, nice and solid and strong. And then bring the hand behind the low back, so notice that curvature. There should be a little bit of space underneath the lower back, the lumbar. And finally, the tailbone and the hips resting firm on the ground. Good. Now we're going to tilt the whole pelvic girdle up, and what that will do is we'll actually erase this space behind the low back. So as you tilt, drop that low back, and now you shouldn't be able to get a hand underneath the lower back. Good. And now come back to a neutral spine, relaxing the pelvic girdle back to neutral. Good. Now tilt, get rid of that space, and relax, creating space, and tilt, and relax, and one more tilt, and relax. Excellent. Now draw the right knee into the chest. Now draw the left knee into the chest, and notice as we hug the knees in, this also compresses the low back down into the floor, creating kind of an entire rounded spine. Good. Release the right foot to the floor and the left foot to the floor, and feel that natural curve come back into the lumbar. Now bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop out to either side, reclined butterfly. Just allowing gravity to work, opening up the hips. Maybe you can rest your hands on the insides of the knees if they need a little extra weight. Sometimes just that the weight of the hands can help to open up the hips. If that's too strong, don't do that. Or maybe even place the hands underneath the legs for support. Find what works for you today. And while we're here, just relaxing, allowing the knees to fall and the hips to open. Also, bring attention to the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to relax into the earth, maybe turning the palms of the hands up toward the ceiling. Once again, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the muscles of the face. And breathe in for 4 and out for 4 and in for 4 and out for 4 and back to a normal breath. Now take the hands to the outsides of the knees. Using the hands, press the knees together, coming back to feet resting on the ground. Hug the right knee into the chest. Hug the left knee into the chest. Draw the nose up toward the knees if that feels okay on the neck and upper back. Nice round tight ball. Go ahead and relax the head back down. And release the right leg, release the left leg. Now straighten the legs along the mat, reach the arms up overhead, big full body stretch all the way from the toes to the fingertips, really lengthening the entire body. Good. Now walk the feet over to the right edge of the mat and the hands over to the right edge of the mat. Banana posture. Stretching the left side of the body. And come back to center. Walk the feet over to the left, the hands over to the left, banana. And come back to center. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, and start to make your way over to lie on the right side or either side of the body, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just pausing here in a fetal position, so find a comfortable arm position, legs are bent, and just pausing on your side. Noticing that curvature of the spine one more time. Now use the arms to press yourself up to a seat, and we'll bring that blanket back to sit on. Excellent. Some seated cat and cow here. So reach the arms forward, rounding the entire back, dropping the chin to the chest. And now bring the hands to the knees, open the front of the chest forward, looking up toward the ceiling. And exhaling, rounding the spine. And inhaling, looking up toward the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale, arch the spine, cow. One more exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And back to a neutral spine position. Now, walking the hands over to the mat, we're going to come into a kneeling position. So maybe hang on to that blanket underneath the knees if you like. And from kneeling, let's do a little bit of cat and cow here. So once again, round the spine, drop the chin to the chest, exhale, cat. And look forward, inhale, arch the back, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And come back to neutral, tabletop. Now we'll do a thread the needle, but we're actually going to flow here. So lift the right arm up toward the ceiling, gaze follows the hand. And then thread the needle, right arm comes underneath the left. Press back up, arm goes up toward the ceiling. And thread the needle, coming down to rest on the shoulder. Bring the breath into it. Inhale, arm goes up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. One more, inhale up. Exhale, thread the needle. And pause, resting the side of the head, the shoulder on the mat. And pressing up with the left hand, and we'll switch sides. So raise the left hand up toward the ceiling, inhale, and exhale, thread the needle. Inhale up. Exhale, thread the needle. And two more with your own breath. And hold. Use the right hand to press back up to tabletop. Now press the hips back toward the heels, walk the hands forward, drop the forehead to the mat, child pose. Staying in child pose, walk the hands to the left edge of the mat, stretching the right side body. And walk the hands over to the right side, stretching the left. And come back to center. Walk the hands toward the body, pressing all the way up to a kneeling position, hero pose. Rest the hands on the legs, looking forward. Good. Now come up onto the knees. Bring the hands to the lower back, opening the front of the body, just slightly looking up toward the ceiling. Modified camel. And sit back down, hero pose. And we'll flow like that a few more times. So come up to a high kneeling position, camel. And sit back, hero. And breathing with it, inhale, camel. Exhale, hero. Inhale, camel. Exhale, hero. One more, inhale, camel. Exhale, hero. And hold. Walk the hands forward along the mat. And bring the right foot forward between the hands. We'll come into a low lunge, so you can stay here with the knee down if you prefer, or you can raise that knee up, runner's lunge. Plant the left hand on the mat, lift the right arm up, and twist. Drop the right hand, drop the left knee if it was up, press the hips back, straightening the right leg, nose drops toward the knee. And come forward, plant the hands on either side of the right foot, and then switch legs. So draw the right foot back and left foot forward. Once again, keep that back knee down if you prefer, or raise it up, runner's lunge. Plant the right hand on the mat, lift the left arm up, twist. Draw the left hand back down, drop the right knee, and hips back, forward fold. Shift the weight forward and draw the left knee back to a tabletop once again. Switch legs again, so the right foot comes forward. This time the hands walk to the inside of the foot. Dragon stretch, so again, knee can stay down or come up. And you can start to bend the arms if that feels comfortable. So maybe really find a comfortable position, dropping the head down. Allow that right knee to start to fall out to the side, really opening up that hip. And now we'll go right into a pigeon stretch. So heel toe walk that right foot across over to the left side of the mat and start to allow the right knee to drop down. If this is too strong in that knee, feel free to take this blanket here, fold the blanket up so it's a nice kind of a small tight cushion. We'll place that underneath the right hip. And you can stay up or start to walk the hands forward along the mat, dropping the head toward the floor. If this is still too intense, you can walk the foot a little bit closer to the body. Away from the body is more intense, toward the body is a little less intense. And use your arms to press up and keep leaving the legs kind of where they are. Start to swivel around to sitting on your seat. So we've got the right leg bent, left leg straight. Reach the left arm down the left leg and right arm comes up and over for a side stretch. Good, come back up, and we'll turn all the way around to face that left foot. Walk the hands down the left leg, dropping the nose toward the knee, single leg, forward fold. Come back up to a seat. All right, now we'll do that on the other side. So move into dragon stretch first. So bending the left knee, straightening the right. Walk the hands to the inside of the left foot and start to, you can drop that back knee if you like, start to walk the hands forward, bend the arms, and sink into the dragon stretch. And moving into pigeon, so heel toe that left foot across to the right edge of the mat, and sitting on the blanket, walk the arms forward, drop the nose toward the floor. Once again, bring that foot closer to the body if this is too intense. Up to a seat and swivel around to sit on the blanket. Right arm goes down the right leg, left arm comes up and over for a side stretch. Coming up out of the side stretch and swivel around to face that right leg. Walk the hands down, reaching for the foot or maybe the ankle or the shin. Single leg, forward fold. Come back up to a seat. Move that blanket out of the way for now. And straighten both legs along the mat. Walk the hands down the shins, again reaching for the ankles, maybe the big toes with peace fingers. And drop the nose to the knees, forward fold. Pressing up to a seat. Now walk your seat to about halfway down the mat and come to lie back on the ground once again. Good, knees are bent. Tuning into the spine, noticing the curvature of the spine. And we'll do a similar pelvic tilt, but move right into a bridge. So tilting the pelvis, dropping the lumbar spine onto the ground, and then continuing to lift the hips up toward the ceiling, gently rolling up the spine, coming into a bridge. And roll back down. This does not need to be a very intense bridge. We're just kind of rolling the spine and giving it a little bit of extra love and attention. So once we come back down to the ground, noticing that space in the low back, go ahead and tilt the pelvic girdle, erasing that space, and roll all the way up to bridge. And roll back down. Coming back to neutral curve in the spine. And one more time, tilting the pelvis, pressing the low back down, and then rolling all the way up to the upper back, bridge. And roll back down, pressing the low back into the floor, and then releasing the pelvis for a nice lumbar curve. Good, hug the right knee into the chest, hug the left knee into the chest, and draw the nose up toward the knees. Release the head back down to the ground. Release the right foot to the floor, the left foot to the floor. Move into butterfly once again, so the feet come together, knees drop open to either side. You walk the shoulders down the back a little bit, opening the front of the chest, front of the shoulders. Using the hands to press on the outside of the knees, bring the knees up and back together. Hug the right knee into the chest. This time straighten the left leg along the floor. And cross the right knee over across the body, coming into a twist. Right arm comes out to a T, gazes over the right shoulder. And come back up to center. And straighten the right leg, bend the left leg, left knee hugs into the chest. And cross the left knee over, twist, gazing over the left shoulder. Come back to center. Straighten both legs along the mat and we'll move into Shavasana. So if you'd like to keep the legs straight, that's fine. Otherwise, if this is uncomfortable on the low back, you can bend those knees again. Maybe walk the feet as wide as the mat and knock the knees together for constructive rest. So find a Shavasana that works for you today. Bring attention back into the breathing. So notice the inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for 4. Inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. Coming back to a natural breath. Relax the muscles of the face. Relax the jaw. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers. Relax the front of the body. Relax the spine, allowing it to settle into its natural curves. Relax the legs. Allow the feet to gently drop out to either side. Or if you've got knees bent, allow the knees to gently fall in toward each other. And using the breath to scan the entire body. So imagine the inhale comes in through the soles of the feet, runs all the way up the legs, up the spine, all the way into the crown of the head. And the exhale goes back down to the feet. Inhale coming up through the body, all the way up to the crown of the head. And exhale back down and out the soles of the feet. And return to a normal breath. We'll stay in Shavasana in silence, just allowing the body to feel relaxed and cared for. Making sure you're comfortable. If you need to provide any additional support, grab any extra pillows, you can go for it. And just settle in. Allow the music to wash over your mind. Allow the body to be relaxed until I move us out of Shavasana. Starting to bring awareness back into the room. Starting to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Re-rolling the ankles and the wrists. And when you're ready, reaching the arms up overhead. Big full body stretch. And in your own time, rolling over onto your side. Pausing for just a moment here. And using the arms to press up to a seated position. Bring the hands together at heart center. Palms pressing together, Anjali Mudra. Thank you so very much for practicing with me today. Be well, everybody. Namaste.